That was super inspiring. I thought I was super lucky to have her in during
a little bit of that rivalry, going. It's
a whole new arena. It's like old champions kind of who competed at the.
Oh, we picked the other one, please.
What if I told you that one quiet phone call just changed the future of women's tennis forever? What if the greatest champion of a generation has secretly chosen her heir? And it's not who the tennis world expected. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes you're going to hear a story about power, pressure, legacy, and a 5-year move that could flip the entire WTA landscape upside down. This isn't just another rumor. This is the kind of whisper that turns into history. Tennis Twitter is buzzing. Locker rooms are tense. Sponsors are watching. And at the center of it all, a 20-year-old Filipina rising star, and the legendary Steffi Graf. Welcome back to Champions Tennis, where we don't just report the headlines, we connect the dots before the rest of the world even sees the pattern. Because what we're about to break down isn't just about talent. It's about a coronation. Sources close to the tennis circuit are claiming that Steffi Graf has made a stunning decision. A personal 5-year sponsorship and mentorship commitment to Filipino prodigy Alex Eala. 5 years. Let that sink in. In tennis terms, that's not a handshake deal. That's a long-term blueprint. That's an investment in prime years. That's a statement to the entire tour. And the quote that's shaking the sport? She is the only and brightest diamond of the young tennis generation. Not one of, not among, the only, the brightest. That's not praise. That's prophecy. Now pause for a second. This isn't just any former champion speaking. This is Steffi Graf, the Golden Slam winner. The woman who spent 377 weeks as world #1. The player who didn't just dominate her era, she defined it. Graf isn't known for hype. She's known for precision. She doesn't attach her name lightly. She doesn't chase attention. So when her name gets linked to a 5-year commitment with Alex Eala, the tennis world doesn't shrug. It freezes. Because this means something. But why Alex? Why now? To understand that, you have to look at the timing. 2025 wasn't just another developmental year for Eala. It was a transformation. The breakthrough from promising junior to legitimate threat. The Southeast Asian Games in Thailand became her proving ground. The pressure, immense. She wasn't just playing for ranking points. She was playing for a nation. And in the final, under suffocating humidity and against hometown favorite Manangkaya Sawanki, Eala didn't blink. She dominated. 6-1, 6-2. Clinical. Cold. Commanding. That wasn't just a win. That was a signal. And instead of celebrating for weeks, she went straight back to work. From Bangkok to Macau. From regional hero to global stage. At the MGM Macau Tennis Masters, she stood shoulder to shoulder with ATP names like Jack Draper. The company changed. The expectations changed. The narrative changed. And then confirmation for the 2026 Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open followed. Momentum wasn't slowing. It was accelerating. This is exactly when mentorship matters most. The climb from top 100 to top 50 is tough. The jump from top 50 to top 10? That's brutal. That's where talent meets resistance. That's where potential either sharpens into greatness or fractures under pressure. And if Graf is stepping in right now, it's not random. It's strategic. Because Alex Eala already has foundations most players would kill for. She trained at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca. That means discipline. That means clay court intelligence. That means fight. She's a lefty, a rare advantage on tour. Left-handed serves slice differently. Cross-court forehands land at awkward angles. Only about 10% of players on tour are lefties. That means 90% of opponents feel uncomfortable. And discomfort wins matches. Now imagine adding Graf's tactical mind to that equation. Graf's legendary slice backhand wasn't flashy, but it was lethal. It disrupted rhythm. It broke patterns. It forced errors. Modern tennis is power-heavy. Baseline bashing. Big serves. Faster. Harder. Louder. But variety. That's the cheat code. If Eala absorbs that slice-and-dice variation, if she blends Nadal resilience with Graf precision, the rest of the WTA has a serious problem brewing. Think about the current powerhouses. Aryna Sabalenka, Iga Świątek. They dominate through force, through aggression, through relentless baseline pressure. But what happens when they face a lefty who changes pace, lowers bounce, redirects angles, and refuses to play predictable patterns? That's chess at 100 miles per hour. And Graf was a grandmaster. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. This isn't just tennis. This is geography. This is market expansion. This is cultural momentum. The Philippines isn't traditionally seen as a tennis superpower. Basketball, boxing, absolutely. But tennis, that's changing. And if Eala continues rising with Graf's backing, Southeast Asia becomes a focal point for the WTA. We've seen this before. When Li Na won Grand Slams, China exploded with tennis growth. Courts multiplied. Sponsors flooded in. TV ratings soared. Now imagine that effect amplified by the global Filipino diaspora. Filipinos live everywhere: America, Europe, the Middle East, Australia. They support fiercely. When Manny Pacquiao fought, the world felt it. Eala could be that same energy, but with a racket. And Graf understands legacy. She's married to Andre Agassi, a man who built both a Hall of Fame career and a philanthropic empire. They understand branding. They understand long-term development. A 5-year deal isn't about quick headlines. It's about building a champion. But here's the twist that keeps this story electric. Nothing has been officially announced. No joint press conference. No Instagram reveal. No handshake photo. Just credible whispers. Specific details. A 5-year timeline. A diamond quote too poetic to feel fabricated. In tennis, when smoke lingers this long, fire usually follows. Maybe they're testing public reaction. Maybe contracts are still being finalized. Or maybe this quiet rollout is intentional, very on brand for Graf. Let the tennis speak first. Let results confirm the partnership before the cameras do. And that might be the most powerful move of all. Because perception in professional tennis is currency. If players believe Eala has Graf in her corner, preparation shifts. Respect increases. Pressure builds. Opponents scout harder. Media narratives elevate. Even before a single official statement, the aura alone changes the room. And aura wins matches before the first serve is struck. So here's the question you need to hold on to as we move into part 2. Is Alex Eala ready to carry not just her nation's expectations, but the legacy weight of Steffi Graf's endorsement? Because being called a diamond sounds glamorous. But diamonds are formed under crushing pressure. And the real test is coming. Now here's where the story turns from exciting to historic. Because if this 5-year alliance between Steffi Graf and Alex Eala becomes official, 2026 won't just be another season, it will be a proving ground. Every tournament Eala enters will carry subtext. Every camera angle will search the player's box. Every commentator will whisper, "Is that Graf sitting there?" And imagine this: Australian Open, Melbourne. Tight third set. Break point. The broadcast cuts to the box. Sunglasses on. Expression calm. Steffi Graf nodding once. The internet explodes. X melts down. Headlines write themselves. Graf's protégé arrives. Even if Eala starts in qualifying, the narrative alone guarantees prime coverage. That's how powerful legacy is. Exposure changes everything. Instead of outer courts, she gets center stage. Instead of short interviews, she gets feature segments. Sponsors who hesitated suddenly lean forward. Because alignment with Graf isn't temporary hype, it signals structure. It signals guidance. It signals championship ambition. Then comes clay season. And if there's one surface that could reveal the so-called Graf effect, it's clay. Graf won Roland Garros 6 times. 6. She understood patience, point construction, sliding geometry. Eala already has clay roots from the Rafa Nadal Academy. Now imagine merging Nadal's relentless grind with Graf's surgical variety. Madrid, Rome, Roland Garros. If Eala starts extending rallies smarter, mixing slice with topspin, finishing with lefty angles that pull opponents off the court, analysts will know something has shifted. Because improvement at that level doesn't happen accidentally. Then grass season. And this is where it becomes poetic. 7 Wimbledon titles. 7. Graf owned that surface. Grass rewards touch, balance, intelligence. You can't just blast through it. You have to think. You have to adapt. If Eala shows improved net play, sharper transitions, smarter point selection on grass, the message will be clear. This isn't coincidence. This is mentorship in motion. But let's address something uncomfortable. Pressure. When you're labeled the brightest diamond, expectations don't gently rise, they skyrocket. Opponents circle your name on the draw sheet. Fans expect miracles. Media hunts for narrative arcs. One bad loss becomes a headline. One injury sparks panic. And if Graf's reputation is attached, critics won't stay quiet. They'll question the judgment. They'll analyze every setback. That's the hidden weight of endorsement. And here's what makes it fascinating. Graf herself thrived under suffocating expectation. German media pressure. Personal family controversies. Intense rivalries with legends like Martina Navratilova and Monica Seles. Yet she kept winning. That mental armor is perhaps the greatest gift she could pass down. Because technique wins matches. Mentality wins eras. Now zoom out beyond tennis mechanics. Think business. Think infrastructure. Tennis is expensive. Travel, coaching, physios, analytics, it burns through money. For players outside traditional powerhouse federations, funding becomes a constant stressor. If Graf sponsorship removes that burden, Eala competes freer. No more, can we afford this tournament? It becomes, how do we win this tournament? That shift in mindset alone is transformative. And let's not underestimate the commercial ripple effect. The Philippines is a growing economy with a young population and rising interest in global sport. Add the global Filipino diaspora, millions across continents, and you have a built-in worldwide fanbase. When Eala plays, it's not just Manila watching. It's New York, Dubai, London, Sydney. Sponsors dream of that reach. And Graf, alongside Andre Agassi, understands ecosystem building. This could extend beyond one player. Academies, development programs, grassroots investment in Southeast Asia. Eala becomes the symbol, the proof that with elite mentorship, geography is no barrier to greatness. But let's return to skepticism. There's still no official announcement. In today's social media era, rumors spread fast. Yet the specificity here, the 5-year timeline, the diamond quote, feels deliberate. Too detailed to be random. Perhaps they're waiting for results to unveil the partnership naturally. Or perhaps this quiet buildup is strategic suspense. Because when the reveal finally happens, it won't just confirm a rumor, it will validate months of rising performance. And here's the psychological layer that fascinates coaches. If other players believe Eala has Graf's tactical brain behind her, they prepare differently. They analyze her patterns deeper. They step on court slightly tighter. And in elite sport, that fraction of doubt can decide matches. Tennis is brutal in its honesty. No teammates to shield you. No substitutions. Just you, your opponent, and the ball. Mentorship can guide. Sponsorship can support. But execution remains personal. So the ultimate question remains, can Eala convert belief into Grand Slam reality? Because top 10 is one milestone. World #1, that's another universe. And yet, when you combine left-handed advantage, Nadal Academy grit, rising confidence, and potential Graf mentorship, the formula starts looking dangerous. Especially in a WTA era craving new storylines. Established champions dominate headlines, but fans hunger for fresh narratives. A Filipina rising under a German legend's wing? That's global storytelling. That's cross-generational drama. That's the kind of arc that transcends sport and enters culture. Now imagine 2026 unfolding. Early season breakthrough win over a top 15 opponent. Commentators mention the diamond quote. Clay semifinal run. Wimbledon second week appearance. Ranking climbs. Momentum builds. Each victory reinforces the mythology. And if setbacks happen, that's where true mentorship reveals itself. Not in celebration, but in recalibration. Graf didn't build her legacy on comfort. She built it on relentless refinement. And if she sees something in Eala beyond technique, something internal, something durable, that might be the real diamond she's referencing. Because diamonds aren't valued for sparkle alone. They're valued for strength. So where does this leave us? On the edge of a potential era shift. A young star from Southeast Asia stepping into the spotlight. A legend possibly guiding the journey. A sport watching closely. The next 12 months will either confirm the prophecy or test it. But one thing is certain, the tennis world is alert. Every Eala match now carries intrigue. Every ranking update feels meaningful. Every camera pan to the player's box becomes investigative journalism. And that's how eras quietly begin, not with fireworks, but with belief. So as we head into 2026, remember this moment. Because years from now, if Alex Eala lifts a Grand Slam trophy, analysts may trace the turning point back to this rumored 5-year commitment. To that diamond declaration. To the day Steffi Graf chose her successor. The diamond age may just be beginning. And we'll be here for every serve, every slice, every breakthrough. But what if the real story hasn't even started yet? Because mentorship is one thing. Endorsement is another. Legacy. That's something entirely different. And if Steffi Graf truly sees championship DNA inside Alex Eala, then what we're witnessing isn't just support, it's succession planning. Think about it carefully. Graf didn't just dominate her era, she ended debates. She forced rivals to elevate. She changed standards. Now imagine her watching the current WTA landscape and identifying a player who could eventually disrupt its balance. That's not casual praise. That's strategic vision. Because the WTA right now is stacked with power and precision. Iga Świątek controls tempo with ruthless efficiency. Aryna Sabalenka brings thunder from the baseline. Coco Gauff blends athleticism with evolving maturity. Breaking into that circle isn't about talent alone. It's about disruption. And disruption requires identity. Eala's identity is forming right before us. The lefty angles. The calm composure. The willingness to grind on clay but attack on hard courts. The subtle confidence that doesn't scream, but doesn't flinch either. That combination is rare. And rarity is exactly what Graf might be protecting. But here's the layer people aren't discussing enough. Legacy pressure cuts both ways. If Eala succeeds under Graf's mentorship, Graf's story expands. She becomes not just a legend of the past, but an architect of the future. If Eala struggles, critics will question the diamond prophecy. That's why this move, if real, is bold. Graf doesn't need this. Her legacy is secure. Which means the motivation likely isn't publicity, it's belief. And belief at that level is powerful currency. Now picture the 2026 Australian Open. Eala walks into Melbourne ranked higher than ever before. Media microphones hover. Every question circles back to Graf. What has she taught you? Is she here this week? How has your mindset changed? Even if Graf stays behind the scenes, her presence lingers in every headline. That kind of narrative weight can either crush or fuel a player. The difference lies in mental architecture. Graf's career wasn't built on noise. It was built on compartmentalization. Block out distraction. Focus on the ball. Repeat. If she passes down that mental discipline, Eala's ceiling rises dramatically. Because tennis at the highest level is emotional warfare. Momentum swings. Crowd noise surges. A single double fault can spiral into a breakdown. But champions reset quickly. They treat points like separate stories. If Eala masters that emotional reset, the jump from contender to closer becomes realistic. Let's talk tactics again, because evolution is visible. Imagine Eala introducing heavier slice patterns, dragging big hitters forward unexpectedly. Imagine her serve placement becoming more surgical, not just powerful. Imagine improved transition play, short balls punished instantly. These aren't overnight upgrades. They're the fingerprints of mentorship. And analysts will notice. Opponents will notice. That's when respect turns into caution. And caution opens opportunity. Now zoom out beyond rankings and trophies. Think about symbolism. For decades, tennis dominance has been geographically predictable. Europe, America, occasionally Australia. Southeast Asia has produced talent, but rarely sustained top-tier contenders. If Eala breaks into the elite with Graf's backing, it signals structural change. It tells young athletes from Manila to Jakarta that proximity to traditional tennis capitals isn't mandatory anymore. That global mentorship bridges gaps. That belief travels. And belief inspires infrastructure. Academies grow. Junior programs multiply. Sponsorship ecosystems strengthen. One breakthrough can shift an entire region's sporting trajectory. We saw hints of this when Li Na captured Grand Slam titles. Participation surged. Investment followed. But the Filipino diaspora adds a unique multiplier. When Eala competes, support isn't localized, it's worldwide. And if Graf's endorsement amplifies that pride, every match becomes more than a sporting event. It becomes representation. Now let's address the uncomfortable reality: injuries. Slumps. Doubt. No 5-year journey is linear. Even legends endured setbacks. Graf faced injuries, personal turbulence, fierce rivalries. But she returned stronger. That resilience might be the most valuable lesson she can transfer. Because talent peaks physically in the early to mid-20s. But greatness stabilizes mentally. If Eala reaches 25 at the end of this reported 5-year span stronger mentally than she is now, the investment pays off, even if trophies take time. And imagine the narrative crescendo if, sometime around 2028 or 2029, Eala stands in a Grand Slam semi-final. Commentators replay the brightest diamond quote. Graphics flash Graf's career stats. The story writes itself, prophecy fulfilled. But even if that ultimate milestone remains ahead, incremental growth alone reshapes perception. Top 20 consistency. Deep slam runs. Wins over elite seeds. That's how belief solidifies into reality. Now let's revisit the skepticism. No official press release. No staged photos. Silence from both camps. And yet, silence can be strategic. Graf has always preferred action over announcement. If she wanted spectacle, she could have arranged it instantly. Instead, this slow-burn rumor builds intrigue. It keeps cameras searching. It keeps fans debating. And perhaps that's intentional. Let the performances confirm the partnership organically. Because when validation comes through results, it feels earned. And earned narratives endure longer than orchestrated ones. There's also another dimension: chemistry. Mentorship only works when personalities align. Graf's stoic precision paired with Eala's composed ambition could create a balanced dynamic. Not overwhelming. Not suffocating. Just refining. That distinction matters. Many prodigies crumble under controlling mentorship. But Graf stepped away from constant spotlight decades ago. If she's stepping back in, it's likely measured. Purposeful. Controlled. So here we stand, on the brink of a potential generational bridge. A legend possibly shaping the next wave. A young Filipina star carrying national pride, global expectation, and perhaps one of the sport's most iconic endorsements. The WTA doesn't just evolve through rankings, it evolves through narratives. Rivalries. Successions. Mentorship arcs. And this one has all the ingredients. The only remaining variable? Execution. Because when the lights turn bright, when breakpoint arrives, when matchpoint hangs in silence, mentorship fades and instinct takes over. That's where diamonds prove authenticity. Under pressure. Under scrutiny. Under history's gaze. And if Alex Eala withstands that weight, if she thrives inside it, then years from now we won't just remember the rumor. We'll remember the moment the torch quietly shifted. The moment belief became blueprint. The moment Steffi Graf didn't just watch the future of tennis, she invested in it. The Diamond Age doesn't announce itself loudly. It reveals itself through resilience, refinement, and results. And the next chapter is about to be written on court.